Hello everyone, Jessica Cabesi here. I'm going to be showing you guys a tutorial on how to change the color tone to an image, kind of make it softer, or if it's a little warm, how to make it cooler. So let's first start by making this image softer, warmer, more on the warmer side. So I'm going to go ahead and start by using a solid color layer, using a light yellow color. Now I'm going to go ahead and select the mask area right here. Go to, where is it? Image, apply image. And this is really cool because what this is doing is masking out the areas that you want the yellow to show through. So I actually just want the background. I don't want the it'll ask you for merged, but if you do merged, that's what it'll do. So you want the background, always the original picture. Usually what it'll do is show through the skin, the white areas of the photo, and it just really looks nice. So make sure blending's to multiply, channels to RGB, and select OK. Again, this is a difference. You can even use other colors, but just kind of depends. I like to use yellow because it's closer to a skin tone almost, so you can kind of adjust the opacity a little. Next, I'm going to go to layer, new adjustment layer, and then black and white. I'm going to set this to overlay. And then I'm going to go to layer, new adjustment layer, and then color balance. I'm just going to add some color balance just to really add that warm color in there. And you can go ahead and set this from normal. I'm going to try to see what color looks like. The color, which kind of looks really nice right now. So that's how it looks so far. And I'm only on midtones right now. I don't really go into others just yet. So I'm on midtones right now. You can try shadows out. I'm not going to really play with shadows too much. That looks pretty good so far. Again, I just use midtones and I use like one thing from shadows. I did negative. I shouldn't have even done -4. So again, set this layer to color. Let's go over to the curves layer and kind of pull up just a tad bit some of the curves. And you know, there's not like a certain step that I use for this. It's not like I'm like, oh, I'm going to use 130 output and 139 input. I just kind of see how it's going and kind of go from there. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to brightness contrast, just add a little bit. I do too much. And this is usually where I go in and I tweak each layer, make sure that it's not too much. And one cool way that you can bring back texture is by going to black and white and then kind of playing with the reds and bringing it down. You can go to multiply, it kind of brings back a lot of texture. I'm going to go ahead and see what it does at soft light, if it'll bring back a little bit more texture. Maybe I'll just go back to the original layer and see what that does. There we go. Go back, I'm sorry, go back to the original layer, the first one that we did, and just bring down the reds a little. And again, this is really going to depend on what kind of picture you have. So look at the picture that you have and kind of see where it goes from there. I can even bring down the yellows and that'll make a huge difference itself. Make sure that's a little bit. Don't want the brightness and contrast to be too much. I'm going to try something out. I'm going to go to gradient map. This could either look really cool or really not cool, so I try to use colors that kind of look, I'll even try those kind of colors out, but for the sake of this tutorial and keeping it like a warm tone. I'm going to go ahead and use red to orange, see how that works out. And this is all like really trial and error, so it's going to take me a couple of tries to kind of get it right. Not going to add too much, I just want it really, really subtle. And don't mind all my layer changing. This is literally what I do. I just sit and change layers all day. That's what I do on that's what I'll do on like Saturday night. I'll just sit and change layers. Like, oh, that's really nice. So I'm gonna put this to soft light. There we go. And I'm actually gonna go back to the curves layer that we originally had. Try to see if I can get something cool with the blue layer. Kind of pull it to the side a little, bring out some more color. There we go. If you bring down this little guy from the blue, it'll give it like a really nice effect. There we go. This is looking good. Gonna bring this up. And again, most of this is just sitting here and tweaking. So you gotta have a lot of patience. To end this one off, I'm gonna go ahead and make a new layer. And then I'm going to use a yellow color, set it to overlay around 22%. If you literally just type 22, it'll change the layer. It'll change the opacity for you. So just making little color bubbles everywhere. So, and I'm lowering the opacity. All my layers are like 1% opacity, but I guess it works for me, right? And I'm gonna make another new layer. I'm gonna see what screen does. I'm gonna zoom out. And that looks kind of cool. Last thing I'm going to try is selective color. Now this may or may not work. Again, this is all trial and error. So, oh god, you don't want to do that. Please don't do that. Okay. You can pull in the blacks a little bit. I work in blacks. I try to use blacks first. Now I used to do red first because I love red, but let's see what yellows do. And I'm sure if you've watched my other videos, what you'll see is me just going like this, scrolling up and down all day. Okay. Kind of like when you pull the black for the yellows. And if you really wanted to with the whites, you can lower every single one from the white, and it kind of pops it out from, especially like her nose area and everything, it kind of pops that area out. But I don't want that, so I'm just gonna put all these to 0. But if you do have a picture and you want it to kind of be more highlighted, that's what you should do. You should go to whites and drop all those down. And just one last one, reds, my favorite. Make sure that there's nothing in here that I want to use, and I usually do use something from reds. There we go, that looks kind of cool. So very, very, very subtle. Let me show you a before and an after. This is before, and this is after. And if you think that the yellow is too much and she looks sick or something, you could always turn off a couple layers. Just by like taking off color, like just dropping down color balance, and it looks a little more, looks less yellow. So it just really depends on your preference. And usually what I'll do, I'll go through each and every layer and make sure that's what I want on the picture. So I just made it less yellow, and so that's how it looks. So this is the yellow warmer tone. I'm going to do another tutorial with the cooler tone, so look out for that one. Thank you guys so much for watching.